31 seconds. That's all the footage we have. 31 seconds captured by a motion-activated security camera on the back of a house in Maplewood, Virginia. And within those 31 seconds, you can see everything. The truth. The love. And if you look closely enough, you can almost see the beginning of the end. Here's what the camera recorded on March 14, 2024, at exactly 6:34 in the evening. An elderly man sits in a wheelchair on a stone patio, white hair, frail, 82 years old. A woman in navy blue scrubs walks toward him. She's 35. She kneels down in front of him, places her hand gently on the armrest of his wheelchair, and she kisses him. Not a quick peck, a real kiss. 4 full seconds. His hand rises slowly, touches her cheek. Then she stands, moves behind his wheelchair, and pushes him back toward the house. At 6:35 p.m., they disappear from the camera's view. This is the last time this woman would ever be seen alive. Her name was Alicia Turner. And 11 days after this footage was recorded, her body would be discovered in an abandoned warehouse. Hands bound, ligature marks around her neck, still wearing those same navy scrubs. Now, most people who first heard about this case assumed it was a random abduction. Wrong place, wrong time. A woman grabbed from a parking lot by strangers. But that's not what this is. This is a story about $2.5 million, a revised last will and testament, and a family who decided that eliminating one woman was easier than watching their inheritance slip away. Let's go back to the beginning. September 12, 2021. William Hargrove is 79 years old. He's driving through an intersection in Maplewood when a pickup truck runs a red light and slams into the driver's side of his vehicle at 50 miles per hour. The impact shatters 3 of his vertebrae. William survives, but he'll never walk again. Now, William wasn't a poor man. Far from it. He'd built a successful property management company over 4 decades, owned commercial real estate across Virginia. His estate was worth over $3 million. He also had 3 living family members: his son, Bradley, 54 years old, his daughter, Christine, 51, and his grandson, Tyler, 29. Bradley's son. In the first month after the accident, all 3 visited regularly, brought flowers, sat by his bedside, told him everything would be okay. Second month, the visits slowed down. Third month, almost nothing. Bradley visited twice in that entire first year. Christine came once. Tyler never showed up at all. William Hargrove spent his 80th birthday completely alone, sitting in his wheelchair, staring at a phone that never rang. Investigators would later recover a journal from William's home. One entry, dated November 2021, read, "My family disappeared the moment I became a burden. I realize now I was only valuable to them when I could still write checks." But what William didn't know was that someone was about to walk into his life who would change everything. December 14th, 2021. William's insurance company arranges for a home health aide through an agency called Premier Care Services. They send their highest-rated caregiver. 47 families served. 4.9 star rating. Spotless record. Her name is Alicia Turner. Alicia was 32 years old, born and raised in Richmond. She'd been the first person in her family to attend college, enrolled in nursing school with dreams of becoming an RN. But during her second year, her mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Alicia dropped out immediately, moved back home, spent 6 months caring for her mother until she passed. After the funeral, Alicia never went back to nursing school. Instead, she got certified as a home health aide. Figured if she couldn't be a nurse, she could still help people, still make a difference. For 8 years, that's exactly what she did. And then, she met William Hargrove. The first day Alicia arrived at William's home, she found him sitting in his wheelchair by the window, just staring. He didn't acknowledge her when she walked in, didn't say hello, didn't even look at her. This was a man who had given up. But Alicia didn't start with medical questions, didn't pull out a clipboard and run through a checklist. Instead, she asked him one simple question. "Mr. Hargrove, what's your favorite meal? The one you'd make yourself if you could stand in a kitchen again?" William turned his head. For the first time in months, someone wasn't asking what he needed. They were asking what he wanted. He thought for a moment, then answered, "Homemade lasagna. My late wife's recipe." 2 days later, Alicia showed up with grocery bags. She set up the entire kitchen at counter height so William could help from his wheelchair. They made that lasagna together, and when they sat down to eat, William cried. It was the first time he'd felt like a human being since the accident. Over the following months, Alicia went far beyond her job description. She discovered William loved jazz. So she brought over her personal record collection. They'd listen to Miles Davis during his physical therapy sessions. She found out he used to read poetry, found his favorite book of poems at a used bookstore. Read to him every afternoon. She took him outside, to parks, to restaurants, places where people would see him as a person, not just a man in a wheelchair. Slowly, William started to change. He smiled more, laughed more, started looking forward to each day instead of dreading it. One evening in June of 2022, William asked her a question that had been weighing on him. "Why do you waste your time with a broken old man like me?" Alicia looked him directly in the eyes. "You're not broken, Mr. Hargrove. You're just waiting for someone to remind you that you're still here." That was the moment William Hargrove realized he was falling in love. He didn't say anything. Couldn't. He was 80 years old. She was 33. It was impossible. It was foolish, but he couldn't stop the feeling. By 2023, William and Alicia had developed a rhythm. She'd arrive at 8 a.m., they'd have breakfast together, then therapy, then hours of conversation about everything: books, music, life, regrets, dreams. And somewhere along the way, Alicia started noticing things. The way William looked at her when he thought she wasn't paying attention. The way his entire face lit up when she walked into the room. And she realized something that scared her. She was falling in love too. September 8, 2023. William had been building up courage for weeks. Finally, he couldn't hold it in any longer. "Alicia, I need to tell you something, and I understand if you want to leave after I say it." She waited. "I'm in love with you. Not because you take care of me, because of who you are. I know I'm 82. I know this makes no sense, but I had to tell you the truth." Alicia didn't respond. She gathered her things, and she left. William was devastated, convinced he'd destroyed everything, ruined the one good thing in his life. But the next morning, Alicia came back. She walked straight to his wheelchair, knelt down in front of him, took his hands in hers. "I don't care that you're 82. I don't care what anyone thinks. I love you too." They became a couple that day. But they kept it completely secret. They knew that if William's family found out, there would be problems. They had no idea how right they were. January 18th, 2024. Bradley Hargrove visits his father for the first time in 8 months. Now here's something important. Phone records later revealed that 1 week before this visit, Bradley had called his personal accountant. The subject? How to access his inheritance early. Bradley needed money, badly, so he drives to his father's house, doesn't call ahead, just shows up. And what he sees when he walks through that door stops him cold. His father and Alicia, sitting together on the couch, holding hands, laughing. This wasn't a caregiver and patient. This was a couple. Bradley explodes. "What is this? She's taking advantage of you." William's response surprised everyone, because for the first time in years, William fought back. "Where were you, Bradley? Where were you when I was alone? When I spent my birthday staring at the walls? Alicia was the only person who gave a damn about me." Bradley stormed out, slammed the door behind him. That evening, Bradley made 2 phone calls. One to his sister Christine, one to his son Tyler. The next day, all 3 showed up at William's house together. "Dad, we're concerned about Alicia." "There's nothing to be concerned about. We think you should fire her. Immediately." William lost his temper completely. "You abandoned me for 3 years. 3 years. And now you show up trying to take away the only person who treated me like a human being? Get out of my house, all of you." They left. But they weren't done. Over the next few weeks, the Hargrove family launched their own investigation. They hired a private investigator to dig into Alicia's background. He came back with nothing. Clean record, no red flags, no history of targeting wealthy patients. They consulted lawyers about challenging William's mental competency. Maybe they could have him declared unfit to make decisions. The attorneys reviewed William's medical records and delivered a verdict. Completely lucid. Sound mind. No grounds for challenge. Every legal avenue failed. Then, on March 5, 2024, Everything changed. March 5, 2024. William Hargrove calls his attorney, Richard Thornton, requests a private meeting. He wants to change his will. Here's what the original will look like. Bradley, $1.5 million. Christine, Tyler, $200,000. And here's what the new will said. Bradley, $200,000. Christine, to Tyler, $100,000. Alicia Turner, $2.5 million, plus the house, plus all remaining assets. But William added one more clause. One that would prove he knew exactly what his family was capable of. If any family member is convicted of any crime against Alicia Turner, their inheritance is automatically void. Everything goes to charity. William signed the document. Legally airtight. Done. But here's the detail that would unravel everything. William didn't know that his attorney's assistant, a woman named Karen Ross, was Christine's best friend from college. March 8th, 3 days after William signed. Karen calls Christine. Your father changed his will. Almost everything goes to the caregiver. $2.5 million? The house? Everything. Christine immediately calls Bradley. That evening, all 3 family members meet at Bradley's house. Panic, fury, desperation. Bradley speaks first. We need to challenge this in court. Christine shakes her head. That could take years and we'd probably lose. Dad's clearly competent. Tyler, so what do we do? Long silence. Then Bradley's voice drops lower. If something happens to Alicia before Dad passes, the bequest becomes invalid. The money reverts back to us. Another silence, longer this time. Christine, Bradley, what exactly are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we make sure she's not around to collect. And just like that, 3 family members began planning to take someone's life over an inheritance. Police would later recover deleted text messages from all 3 phones. Here's what they found. March 9th, Bradley to the family group chat. We can't let her steal what's ours. What are you proposing? Tyler has connections from his military days. People who handle problems. I know someone, but this is serious. Are we really doing this? Do we have a choice? March 10th. Tyler makes a phone call. 8 minutes long. On the other end is a man named Vincent Cross, ex-Marine, dishonorably discharged, multiple assault charges on his record. Vincent agrees to take the job, but he wants a partner, someone he's worked with before. He brings in Rayon Silva, similar background, similar lack of conscience. Their price. $50,000, half up front, half when it's done. Bank records would later show Bradley withdrew $25,000 in cash on March 11th. Another $25,000 on March 13th. March 12th through 14th. Vincent and Rayon conduct surveillance on William's house. They learn Alicia's schedule. When she arrives, when she leaves. What car she drives. A green Honda Civic. They write down her license plate. 3 days of watching, waiting, planning. This wasn't impulsive. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was surgical. March 14th, 2024. Thursday. This was supposed to be Alicia's last workday before taking a week off for vacation. What she didn't know, William had a surprise planned. He'd purchased an engagement ring 2 weeks earlier. He was going to propose. What else she didn't know? 3 blocks from William's house, 2 men sat in a rented white van, waiting for a signal. 8 a.m. Alicia arrives. She makes breakfast with William. Scrambled eggs. Toast. William tries to flip a pancake from his wheelchair and fails miserably. They both laugh. A normal morning. A happy morning. The day passes peacefully. Physical therapy, jazz records, long conversations about nothing and everything. 6:30 p.m. The weather is beautiful. Unusually warm for March in Virginia. William suggests they sit outside on the patio for a bit before Alicia heads home. She wheels him outside. The motion-activated security camera clicks on. 6:34 p.m. They talk. She's smiling. He says something that makes her laugh. Then Alicia walks around to the front of his wheelchair, bends down, places her hand on the armrest, and she kisses him. 4 seconds, a real kiss. His hand comes up to touch her cheek. Neither of them knows they're being recorded. Neither of them knows this footage will be played in a courtroom 6 months later. This is just 2 people in love. She stands up, moves behind the wheelchair, pushes him back toward the house. 6:35 p.m. They disappear from view. 31 seconds of footage. The last record of Alicia Turner alive. Inside, Alicia helps William get settled. She tells him she needs to head home, has some errands to run. He asks her to stay for dinner. She can't tonight, but she'll see him tomorrow. William smiles. Tomorrow. She gathers her things, kisses him goodbye. 6:47 p.m., Alicia walks out the front door, gets into her green Honda, and drives away. She has 13 minutes of freedom left. At 6:42 p.m., 5 minutes before Alicia left, Tyler Hargrove sent a text message to Vincent Cross. Target leaving now. Green Honda. Plate, CD7283. Tyler was either watching the house himself or had someone watching for him. The moment Alicia's car turned the corner, Vincent followed. Alicia drives toward town. She needs groceries, just a routine stop. 6:58 p.m. She pulls into the supermarket parking lot, parks near the back of the lot, away from the main entrance. Quieter, fewer people around. That's exactly what they were counting on. Alicia gets out of her car, walks to the trunk, pops it open, reaches inside for her shopping bags. The white van pulls up fast behind her. 2 men jump out. One grabs her from behind. She screams, she fights, but Vincent Cross is 6'2", 220 pounds, former military training. Alicia is 5'7", 130 pounds. She never had a chance. Roan moves quickly, zip ties around her wrists, hand over her mouth. They lift her into the van. The entire abduction takes 30 seconds. A store employee later told police he heard something, looked over, saw a white van speeding away, thought it was strange, but didn't call anyone, didn't write down the plate. Alicia's Honda sits there in the parking lot. Trunk open, driver's door hanging open, purse on the ground, shopping bags scattered across the pavement. Store security doesn't notice for 40 minutes. When they finally do, they call police at 7:44 p.m. By then, Alicia has been gone for 46 minutes, and she's already at the warehouse, Riverside Industrial Complex, Unit 4B. The warehouse had been abandoned for 3 years, no security, no cameras, no witnesses. Vincent parks the van at the back entrance. They carry Alicia inside. The back room is small, no windows, one door that locks from the outside. They put her on the concrete floor, hands still zip-tied behind her back. And then, Vincent does something that investigators would later describe as the coldest detail of the entire case. He doesn't hurt her right away. He talks to her. He tells her why she's there. That Williams' family paid them to make her disappear. That it's nothing personal, just business. That she got in the way of $2.5 million. He lets her sit with that knowledge. Then at approximately 7:45 p.m., 47 minutes after she was taken from that parking lot, Vincent strangled Alicia Turner. She fought. She struggled. She couldn't break free. 3 minutes. Then she stopped moving. They left her body in that room, locked the door from the outside, and drove away. 2 hours later, a rest stop, 40 miles outside of Maplewood. Tyler Hargrove is waiting. Vincent and Roan pull up. Tyler walks over with a duffel bag. $25,000 cash. The second half of the payment. Tyler asks one question. Is it done? Vincent nods. She's gone. Tyler, any loose ends? None. Tyler takes the empty duffel bag, gets back in his car, drives home. He arrives at 10:17 p.m. His wife asks where he's been. Business dinner. Ran late. She believes him. Tyler Hargrove goes to bed that night knowing he just paid 2 men to take someone's life. He sleeps fine. 7:44 p.m. March 14th. Police respond to the report of an abandoned vehicle at the supermarket. They find Alicia's purse, phone inside, wallet, keys, everything left behind. Clear signs of a struggle. Within 2 hours, Maplewood police issue a regional alert. 35-year-old woman abducted from a parking lot, considered endangered. 9:30 p.m. A detective arrives at William's house. William is confused. Alicia never called to say she got home safely. That wasn't like her. The detective delivers the news. Alicia's car was found abandoned. All signs point to an abduction. William's world collapses. He tells the detective everything. The relationship, the will, the confrontations with his family, the hatred. The detective takes detailed notes. March 15th. The next morning, police bring Bradley, Christine, and Tyler in for questioning. Standard procedure, interview the family first. All 3 deny any involvement. Bradley claims he was home all evening. His wife confirms. Christine says she was at work until 8 p.m. Co-workers back her up. Tyler has receipts from a business dinner. All 3 alibis check out. Police have nothing. Days pass, a week, then another. No body, No ransom demand, no contact of any kind. Alicia Turner has simply vanished. William stops eating, stops sleeping, just sits in his wheelchair by the front door, waiting for her to walk through. She never does. March 25, 2024, 6:47 a.m. The phone rings at the Maplewood Police Department. Male voice, calm, slightly distorted. Riverside Warehouse, Unit 4B. There's a body. Line goes dead. Police trace the call. Burner phone, purchased with cash. Dead end. 7:31 a.m. Detectives arrive at Riverside Industrial Complex. The warehouse has been abandoned for years. They force open the main door to Unit 4B. The back room is padlocked from the outside. They cut the lock. Inside, they find Alicia Turner, still wearing the navy scrubs from 11 days ago, hands still zip-tied behind her back, ligature marks around her neck. She'd been dead since the night she disappeared, for 11 days while the entire region searched for her. She was here, in this room, alone. Detectives process the scene carefully, DNA from the zip ties, fingerprints on the door handle. But the real breakthrough comes when they investigate the warehouse itself. Who owns this property? They pull the records. The answer changes everything. Hargrove Property Management. Bradley Hargrove's company. Inherited from his father years ago, Bradley has keys to every property in the portfolio, including this warehouse, which had been sitting vacant for 3 years. The investigation shifts immediately. Detectives obtain warrants, phone records, bank records, everything. And piece by piece, the conspiracy reveals itself. Phone records, March 10th, Tyler calls Vincent Cross, 8-minute conversation. March 14th, 6:42 p.m., Tyler texts Vincent, target leaving now, green Honda. Plate CD 7283. That text was sent 5 minutes before Alicia left William's house. Tyler knew exactly when she was leaving. Either he was watching, or he had someone watching for him. Bank records, March 11th, Bradley withdraws $25,000 cash. March 13th, Bradley withdraws another $20,000 cash, $50,000 total. Exactly what Vincent and Rayon charged. The van. Investigators track the white van used in the abduction. Rental records show it was rented on March 13th, using a fake ID. But security footage from the rental company shows Rayoni Silva's face clearly. The van was returned March 15th, the day after the abduction. Forensic technicians examine the vehicle. They find traces of Alicia's DNA, fibers matching the zip ties used to bind her hands. The connections. Vincent Cross and Rayon Silva are identified through criminal databases. Both have records, both have military backgrounds, and both served in the same unit as Tyler Hargrove 8 years ago. That's how Tyler knew who to call. 3 weeks after Alicia's body was discovered, police move in. Bradley Hargrove, arrested and charged with first-degree murder conspiracy. Christine Hargrove, arrested and charged with conspiracy, accessory. Text messages prove she knew about the plan. Tyler Hargrove, arrested and charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy, kidnapping, solicitation to commit murder. Vincent Cross, arrested and charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, murder for hire. Rayon Silva, same charges as Vincent. All 5 plead not guilty. September 9th, 2024, trial begins. The prosecution presents a mountain of evidence, phone records showing the coordination between family members and the hired killers. Bank records showing the cash withdrawals, $50,000, matching the agreed-upon price. Text messages. The deleted conversations recovered from all 3 family members' phones. Forensic evidence from the van. DNA from the warehouse. And then, they play the footage. 31 seconds. The jury watches Alicia walk toward William on that patio, watches her bend down, watches her kiss him, watches his hand rise to touch her cheek, watches her push his wheelchair back inside, the last 31 seconds of her freedom. The prosecution's argument is clear. This wasn't manipulation. This wasn't a caregiver taking advantage of a vulnerable patient. This was love, real love. And that's why William changed his will. Not because he was confused, not because he was incompetent, because for the first time in years, someone made him feel alive. Day 12 of the trial. Tyler Hargrove's attorney approaches the prosecution with an offer. Full testimony against the others. Every detail. In exchange for a reduced sentence, life with the possibility of parole after 30 years instead of life without parole. Tyler takes the deal. He takes the stand. And he tells everything. He testifies that Bradley proposed the plan on March 8th. said the only way to protect the inheritance was to eliminate Alicia before their father died. Tyler reached out to Vincent. Vincent brought in Rayon, $50,000 total. Tyler provided Alicia's information, her license plate, her schedule, her address. Vincent and Rayon conducted surveillance for 3 days. Tyler sent the text on March 14th, signaling when Alicia left William's house. He met them at the rest stop, paid the second $25,000. Vincent told him it was done. And Tyler went home, went to sleep, said nothing. The jury deliberates for 4 hours. Guilty. All counts. All defendants. October 14th, sentencing. Bradley Grove, life without the possibility of parole. 25 years. Life with parole eligibility after 30 years. Vincent Cross, life without parole. Rayon Silva, life without parole. Court adjourns. Justice served, except the story doesn't end there. October 14th, 2024, the same day as the sentencing. William Hargrove dies. Officially, the cause of death is listed as heart failure. Natural causes. But the hospice nurse who was with him in his final weeks tells a different story. After the trial ended, William stopped speaking, stopped responding to anyone, just sat in his wheelchair and stared at nothing. The night he died, he spoke one final sentence. I waited 82 years to find love, and my own son took it away in 31 seconds. Then his heart stopped. Here's the final twist. Remember the will? Because Alicia passed away before William, her bequest was void. She couldn't inherit. But William had included that clause. If any family member was convicted of a crime against Alicia, their inheritance was automatically forfeited. Bradley, Christine, and Tyler were all convicted. Their inheritance. 0. The entire estate, $3.2 million, went to charity. Every penny. The family took Alicia's life to protect their inheritance, and they received nothing. There's one more detail from this case that should disturb you. During Vincent Cross's interrogation, a detective asked him a direct question. Have you done work like this before? Families hiring you? Vincent looked directly at the camera, and he smiled. You'd be surprised how often families decide to handle inheritance problems this way. His attorney shut down the interview immediately. That line of questioning never continued. The case was closed after the convictions. No further investigation into Vincent's past work. But that statement hangs in the air. Not if families do this. How often? Let's be clear about what this case reveals. Alicia Turner did everything right. She had 8 years of experience. A near-perfect rating. 47 families who trusted her completely. She maintained professional boundaries until feelings developed naturally over the course of 2 years. Multiple doctors evaluated William and confirmed he was completely lucid. His decision to change his will wasn't the result of manipulation. It was gratitude. It was love. But to Bradley, Christine, and Tyler, none of that mattered. That money was theirs. By blood. By birthright. Didn't matter that they'd abandoned their father for 3 years. Didn't matter that they only showed up when they needed something. When they discovered the inheritance was slipping away, they eliminated the obstacle. If you work in healthcare, especially home care, understand this. The warning signs in Alicia's case weren't her behavior. They were the family's reaction. When family members suddenly appear after years of absence and immediately accuse you of manipulation with zero evidence, document it. Dates, times, exact words. When they threaten your employment, report it to your agency. Create a paper trail. When they make you feel unsafe, trust that feeling. Alicia had 3 hostile confrontations with the Hargroves before March 14th. She didn't report any of them. Thought it would blow over. It escalated to something much worse. March 14th, 2024. 6:34 p.m. Alicia Turner bends down and kisses the man she loves on a quiet patio while a security camera records. She doesn't know that 3 blocks away, 2 men are waiting in a van. She doesn't know Tyler has already sent her license plate. She has 24 minutes of freedom left. She's just kissing someone she loves. 31 seconds later, she wheels him inside. 13 minutes after that, she walks out the front door. 11 minutes after that, she's grabbed from a parking lot. 47 minutes after that, she's gone. 11 days later, her body is found. 6 months later, her killers are convicted. 7 months later, William dies. All because a family decided inheritance was worth more than a human life. Alicia Turner deserved better. William Hargrove deserved better. And if you're watching this, if you work with vulnerable people, if you've ever felt unsafe around a client's family, document everything. Report everything. Trust your instincts, because the Hargroves weren't uniquely evil. They were just the ones who got caught. If this case affected you, leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We cover cases like this every week, the ones that don't make national headlines, the ones that reveal what people are really capable of when money is on the line. I'll see you in the next one.